This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, hello all. Welcome to the next session on SAP ABAP and HANA. In the last few classes, we have discussed about what exactly the CDS. And maybe some of the friends are absent in the last few classes, right? So, what exactly the CDS and all? Again, we are going to talk about like internal table, how it is important. When the CDS also very important for the ABAP and HANA candidates. Okay, so we talk about what exactly the CDS and all we have seen in the it's yeah. So maybe before going to that, maybe can anybody explain what exactly the HANA? Maybe people will forget easily, right? If you jump to the another concept, you forgot the previous concepts. Okay, so what exactly the HANA? So HANA is a high performance analytical appliance, simplified, okay, a database, and with this we are going to achieve below concepts like in memory database, and we are going to store the data in the RAM level instead of the hard disk level. The second one is the column based approach. The data will be stored in a different tiny files than single file, and whenever you read it, we are going to get a good performance. And also it provides a code push down. What exactly the code push down which we have seen, and data compression and data partition will explain, and parallelization of the request. And so okay, so this is not here. Um, and we have seen what exactly the architecture, what is the in-memory database, what is exactly the column-based approach, and what is the row-based approach. And we have seen the code push down, how we can exactly push down the code into the database layer, that we call it a code to data paradigm or code push down technique. Just you need to give whenever it is in a code push down technique example, simple example. I have an 5 tables, and we are going to fetch the data from 5 database tables. We are going to keep the data in 5 internal tables, and we loop the one internal table. We read the another internal table. We make a final internal table. That final internal table we are going to use for the any output processing. But in this case, just you can create a series. The all the processing logic can be pushed down into the database layer. That's exactly the code push down technique, guys. So as part of the code push techniques, we have two concepts. One is the CDS and another one is the AMDP, and we are learning the CDS now. But before that, if you want to build in a CDS, you should be having a good knowledge in the Eclipse by using ABAP development tools, and you know how to install the Eclipse, and you need to install one of the version in the Eclipse, and whether it is in a Mars or Neon or Oxygen or okay Photon, any one of the Eclipse which you need to install, and then you need to use the ABAP development tools. And so, and also we have seen new syntax in application layer. There are some advancements. So guys, so don't think that we are everything under the HANA concept. Maybe in the if you see the architecture, so in every layer there are some advancements, guys. So in the presentation layer, the new syntax is an advancement, which is not a code push down technique actually. Okay, the syntax, the ABAP syntax, which we have used in a new syntax, which is in a inline declarations, and we have used concatenate statement with the pipe symbols, and we have used the value operator and also for operator, and to reduce the code. But the execution, still the execution will be in the ABAP layer only. When you use new syntax, the execution will happen in the ABAP layer only. But if you want to execute the total code on the database layer, we use these two techniques, CDS and AMDP, guys. That's a code push down technique. The new syntax is not a code push down technique. It's an ABAP new syntax, guys. Okay, that's what we have seen the new syntaxes. And the code push down, let's have given same example here. See, we have these many tables, and normally we fetch all the data from database tables, then we loop the data, and finally we append the data to the final internal table. And in between, if there are any conditions, if there are any manipulations, we are going to do the conditions and manipulations. The total logic, even the expression also, we are going to send it to the database layer. In the code push down technique, we have the case statement to get the conditions, and cast statement to define the new fields. And also we have did some operation aggregations also we did on top of the database case. So that's the name CDS. And we have seen the different systems, what exactly the SAP ECC, what exactly the S4 HANA. And so maybe that time I didn't much explain about the HANA side. due to my access, server access. Today only we got the server access with all required authorizations. Now I go to the HANA server, and today we see more about the server level, guys. So see, so it's an ST HANA. Go to system. So status, this is a new database, new product. S4 HANA is in a product, and go to here, and you can see it's in a 7.5D ABAP layer. That means application layer version. This is, and also you can see if you see S4 core, which is in a component, that means it's an S4 HANA system, guys. Or else you can go to the product versions. So here you can see S4 HANA on premise 1809 is the server, guys. This is an S4 HANA 1809 server. So here you can do anything, guys. Okay, in S4 HANA you can do CDS all options. Okay, and also in the database level also you can see this is an SAP application, guys. But if you want to see the database, let's take an example of, so we are talking about the column based and all, right? Maybe I will create one database table, and maybe already we created some database table, I think. Maybe create something. Okay, I create some G HANA uh, table test. This is the table and create, and A, and just a simple table I am going to create it, and fields, and you can see MANDT and MANDT and key field, and which is an MANDT, and maybe you can take KUNNR customer, and which is an a KUNNR. Simple two fields we are going to take it, name one, and which is an a name one underscore GP. So this is the simple database table. Go to the technical settings and save a local object, and ABP L0 and 8, and you can see there is a column store and row store. In the DB specific properties you can see column store, whether it is in a row store. So we will go to the column store and come back and activate the table. So no, and the table is activated. Whenever you activate the table, that the table will be created in the database layer. Till now you didn't see, always you have seen the in the dictionary level, but if you want to see in the database level, so always you need to go to the MSTSC, which is in a remote server, and you have to log into the remote server to see the database. And so this is the remote desktop, guys. See, this is the remote desktop, and if you want to access the HANA database, I'm talking here database. Okay, so you need to access to the HANA Studio. HANA Studio is built based on the Eclipse. This is an Eclipse only. Double click on it, and see, whenever you open Eclipse you get this path, and here also we get the same path. And here we have an a HANA. So if you want to log on, log in. So user ID, password are required. And see, guys, this is in a database. Whenever you open a database, there are different contents which we have. One is the backup and recovery mechanism, which will be done by the basis people. And we have in a catalog, and in the catalog we have in a different schemas. So one class I have explained how ABAP meets HANA, right? So what exactly the how ABAP meets HANA? Maybe if you go to the ABAP system, which is in a ST HANA 14. So system and status, and here you can see there is a database, HANA database, where it is. So here you can see below. So the database is HANA database, and the user which will be connected is an SAP HANA DB. So whatever you do, so it will connect to the HANA database by using SAP HANA DB, and the schema, guys, the schema will be SAP HANA DB. That means you created in a table that will be created in the schema of SAP HANA DB, guys. So maybe I go to the uh, how to minimize this. Mm, minimize, and uh, so first we talk about what exactly the schema first. Maybe this comes uh, column store how ABAP meets HANA. Where is that? Somewhere I have written new syntaxes. Okay. Yeah. So let's we talk about, see, we if you want to access database, we went to the HANA Studio. So in the HANA Studio, normally how exactly the database is. So let's take an example of, this is my database. This is my database case. So the data will be partitioned in the database by using schemas. We have one schema here. Maybe our schema is SAP HANA DB, and we have different other schemas as well, guys. Like this, we will be having different kind of sorry, control SAP HANA DB. We have different schemas like this. Okay, the data will be partitioned by using schemas. So what exactly the schema? Okay, it is a mandatory database object, and it will store other database objects. Like, can anybody give me examples? What are the database objects which we have? Compare with SC11, guys. Okay, we have tables, we have structures, we have table types, and we have views, right? And search help, yes, and lock objects. Okay, and also apart from this, we have in a database specific things, guys, in HANA. Not only HANA, everywhere we have in a procedures, stored procedures. You might heard, right? We have in a procedures, and we have in a functions, and we have in a triggers. Okay, these kind of things will be stored in the database level. Just I have given some of the examples. Okay, this contains these many database objects. So the schema contains all these database objects, guys. Okay, it is a mandatory database object, and it will store other database objects. That's a schema. And also it provides clear separation from other database objects. The partition, it provides a partition. Okay, then also, guys, we use the schema for the authorization purpose. Let's take an example of, let's take, I have two systems connected to the HANA database. I have two systems like SAP ECC system or S4HANA system, and one more thing, I have an MDG system, and the both systems I can connect to the same database. By separating, by using schema concept, I will separate the two database things in a one database case schema. And also we use schema for authorizations as well. Suppose if you want to provide only the authorizations to particular that schema, we'll only give the authorization to one schema. We don't give to the another schemas, guys. Again, we can use the schema for the authorization objects. So now let's take an example of in this SAP system. So just now I have shown. So we have a schema called SAP HANA DB. Suppose if you create any table in the database in the ABAP dictionary, so the table will be created under the SAP HANA DB schema, guys. So maybe go to the desktop, sorry, database. This is in a database case. It's not a SAP. It's in a database. Like let's take an Oracle, the Oracle database. Here in this case, S4 HANA, the only database is HANA database. I log into the HANA database. You can see the catalog. When you explain the catalog, you can see a number of schemas. Like just now I have explained, we have an SAP HANA DB schema, and we have other schemas, system tables, different data will be stored in the different schemas. So go to the SAP HANA DB, you can see views, you can see the functions, you can see the procedures, you can see the sequences, you can see the tables, you can see the triggers, you can see the views. Maybe just now I have created one table. So the table will be created on the under the tables section, and if you want to find out the table, right click and find a table. Okay, So maybe I will find the table. What is the table which we have created just now? Huh? Yes, 11. So this is the SC11. What is the okay? Okay, it will find Z HANA. I think this is the table which I have created. HANA table test, guys. See, this is the database level. You are seeing the table, guys, not in the ABAP dictionary level. So double click on this and exactly see. I created with the three fields: mandatory, Kunar, and name one. And so you can see that data types are different in the database level to the SAP level. So here character becomes an n varchar, and same character becomes an n varchar, and we have an length also we have given. And here you can see type of table. Which type of table? It's a column store table, guys. And if you want to see the data, F8, and so you can see the data. F8, maybe it's not coming. uh, F8 is not working. Maybe how you can preview the data? Uh, Execute. Hmm. I think it didn't give the execute option, guys. It's graved out, right? And I think there is an authorization. Okay, if I play with authorization, he will cut my user ID here. That's the problem. ST HANA 14. We can do the authorizations. ABAP read SI repo grant roles. Some roles we have ABAP execute roles. Star ABAP system repo read execute. Okay, maybe you can filter the table. What is the G HANA? What is that? Okay, G HANA table test, and right click, uh, open data preview, guys. Maybe I will do this. Open data preview. See, there is no data, guys. I don't use execute. So open data preview. There is no data. Let's take an example of I am going to maintain the data in this table. Okay, maintain the values G HANA and table test and display, and maintain the data utilities and table contents and create entries. And maybe Kunar is some thousand I am maintaining, and it's a HANA test. This is the customer which we are going to save. So the database record is successfully created. So whenever you save the data will be saved in the database. Maybe again do the refresh and open data preview. Now you can see one record which is inserted in the database layer, guys. So normally we can see the database tables in the schema. The schema is, so whatever the schema which is provided in the system status, that will be used in the database level. In this database, the ABAP will connect to this schema. Whatever you create, that will be created in the database layer in that particular schema, guys. So that's the simple concept of HANA database. What exactly the HANA database? What is the schema? And also the schemas will be stored in the catalogs. Okay, I don't give much on this, guys. Okay, little information interview point of view I'm providing in the database layer. Okay, so what is catalog? Okay, which is a collection of schemas. That's it. Which is the collection of schemas. Okay, here if you see in the database layer, so this is in a catalog. Under this catalog we have different schemas. That's it. It's in a collection of schema that is in a catalog, and schema is in it stores in another database objects that is in a schema. So what are the database objects which we have? We can tell those database objects, guys. Okay, I don't talk much on the database layer. As an ABAPer, we don't do much on the database layer side. And also we created a lot of CDS views, and maybe now I'm going to create the CDS in the HANA system, not in the SAP ECC. And yesterday we talk about some concept called access control, right? So access control will not be work in the ECC system. Okay, the base is security, and we have a CDS called access control CDS. If you want to implement the access control CDS, the SAP ECC is not supported. You must create them in the ABAP version 7.4, 7.5 and above only we can create it, guys. So if you want to implement authorizations, first what I need to know, so I need to have an authorization objects, I need to have an all these things, guys. Maybe so if you want to do that, maybe I'm going to create the authorization objects and all. So go to the system and go to the SAP system. So first I start with the SU 21, and also go and create the object class and G. Okay, maybe we can use finance. So I don't know whether the data is available or not. Okay, I will check the data, then I will come, guys. Otherwise it will be problem. So do we have any data in the open items or not? That's we'll check it and then I will come back, because otherwise it will be a problem. First you need to go to the SE16N and go to the, what is the table, BSID, and execute. Yeah, we have some data. And what is the company code? See, H100 is having a lot of data, guys. So H100 and RB05, we have different company codes which we have in the HANA system. Maybe RB05 H100. Okay, so yes, we have some data in the BSID table. So go to the SU21 and create an object class Z finance. Okay, uh, authorization class, object class, or OBJCLASS. Okay, which is in a security concept, and object class and text is okay, finance authorization CLASS class, and save it. So first create, I am going to create all this in the local object only. Okay, so I have created an authorization object in a C21, and go to the authorization object which we have created just now, ZFI. Where is that? A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, F. And select the authorization object class and create an authorization object. Okay, GFI. Maybe I can say it's an GFI BUKRS. Okay, this is an authorization object for FI, and save. And no field have maintained for this object. Maybe I need to assign the fields. My fields are, one is BUKRS. Okay, thus another one is I have an ACTVT, guys. So this is we are going to use for the display access or change access or create access. We use the ACTVT field, and we need to provide a field values, which values we can assign, what kind of values we can assign it. So permissible field values are not maintained. We need to maintain the field values. So select the field and permitted activities. So we can add the data, we can change the data, we can display the data. This kind of authorizations I have given to this role, and BUKRS permitted activities, and also it is coming as ACT activity, and save your authorization object, guys. I have saved my authorization object. Okay, that's it. Okay, this authorization object, I am going to create one role. So next step is I need to create a role. If you want to create a roles, PFCG. Okay, and go to the role G, and it's an CDS. Okay, finance underscore role, So I'm going to create a role G underscore finance underscore role, guys. Okay, and create a single role, and it's a finance CDS test role, and go to the authorizations. In the authorizations, you must execute this. It will generate a profile, and after this, you need to go to the change authorization data. Go to the change authorization data as and OK. And here, don't select the templates. And here I need to add the values over here, guys. Maybe how can I add select manually and authorization object which we have created. What is the authorization object we created? G F I B U K R S. I think, yeah, this is my authorization object. And in this authorization object, we have declared two fields. One is Bucharest and another one is the activity. Maybe I maintain the values for this. So I can add 01, 02, 03, give all the access. But activity, I give only the, okay, what is the company codes which we have seen? H100. Only I will give the access to the company code H100, guys. Save it and save it and generate the authorization profile. I have generated an authorization profile with only H100 company code. I am giving the access. The other things I don't generate the access, guys. Maybe go to the users, and the user is ST HANA 14. So for this user, I am going to provide this role and user comparison S and OK. And maybe what is the problem? This save. This should be in a green color. Again, you need to go and generate the authorization object, save, and come back and save and profile created, save. Okay, generated, come back. Yeah, it comes in a green. So now user comparison and complete the comparison. Okay, that's it. So both comes under the green color. So now this is my role, and also I have an authorization object. The authorization object is over here, guys. So which is an a GFI. Where is that? It's not showing. Change layout. Uh, Authorization object. It is not showing. Maybe GFI BUK RS. So this is my fields Bucharest and ACT VT, guys. Maybe now I go to the CDS. I'm going to implement a CDS in this, and so BSID table which I am going to do, guys. Maybe if I would like to go to the, this is in a database case. Systems you see in a database, but if you want to access the Eclipse, go to Project Explorer, and here you can see the ST HANA 14. And so here I am going to log into the Eclipse ABAP development tools and expand local objects. I don't want any package here. So I'm going to create from here itself new CDS. Okay, create in a CDS. Okay, other repository object and go to the core data services where it is. Yeah, last one. Yeah, expand the core data services. So now, guys, I want a first CDS, normal CDS. So normal CDS, I click on the data definition and click on G CDS and which is in a BS ID. I am implementing in a CDS on the BS ID and get open items and next, and no need to have any transport request next, which is in a normal CDS. Just I am using only one CDS and finish. Okay, here my table is BSID. Okay, BSID one table, that's not a problem. You can, if you select the data from one table, guys, no need to put any alias is not required. Okay, maybe I define the fields, and also, guys, whenever you create in a CDS, you must provide an SQL name. Okay, the SQL name is GSQL underscore uh, BSID. This is my SQL name. And so authorization, this is also one more annotation. So not allowed. You can check control space, it will give the values not allowed. Maybe I can get the values from here, control space. And what are the insert all elements? That's it. It will insert all the fields from the uh, table, guys. See, if you look at insert all elements, it will display all the elements over here. So this is my all the fields from the BSID. Maybe if you don't want other fields, you can delete out other fields. That's not a problem. Okay, so maybe I don't want some of the fields from here. Delete. I want profit center reference. Maybe I don't want all this. I don't know KONTT by. Okay, I want this. Some of the fields I am going to take it out. Okay, these fields I have selected from the BSID. Okay, save it. Control S. Okay, and activate it. So the CDS is activated. First, we need to create some basic CDS. Okay, I have created the basic CDS, and maybe if you would like to test this CDS, maybe I can go to the BSID CDS and open with data preview, or you can execute it. Open with data preview, and you can see the data and the company code. We can have H100 and H100 RB05 and all. But I didn't apply any access control on this. Now I am going to create one more CDS with access control. Okay, that is an access control CDS case. Maybe go and create a new data definition, and it's my G. I call it a DCL CDS and BSID. DCL means data control language. So which we are going to use grant and revoke statements. Here also SAP uses a grant statement. If you want to give a permissions, so SAP uses a grant statements. So it is an access control CDS. Access control CDS for authorizations. How do you handle the authorizations in CDS by using, you need to tell access control CDS, which we are going to use it, and finish and next. And here you can see a CDS with access control. Where is that here? View with association, parent association, parameter, extend view, and define with parameters. No guys, we create the like this, sorry, new, and here you can see other database objects and core data services. Core data services, you can see it's not a data definition, it's an access control CDS case. That's the problem. You have to select access control CDS. So here you need to provide G DCL underscore CDS underscore BSID, and which is an access control CDS for authorizations. And next, and next. Okay, defines instance role with inheritance, instructor access. Okay, role grant. Okay, then finish. And see guys, this is the code which is generated. We talked about, right, grant. In the DCL, the grant and revoke statements. If it is in a grant, we can provide the permissions, and revoke means it will remove the permissions. So in database, we use grant and revoke. That time we explained in the um, DB statements long back in the data dictionary. Before we start the data dictionary, we spoke about this. See guys, DCL data control language, which is to restrict the data access, and we have used grant and revoke that time. Exactly, now we are going to use that. Okay, grant. So I have created a CDS for the grant, and select on, okay, on which CDS you need to provide an access. So I have created a CDS GCDS underscore BSID. See, this is the CDS normally which is used to fetch the data from BSID table. And this is the CDS we are creating to provide an authorizations on this CDS. So grant select on table GCDS underscore BS ID. And the condition is we need to implement the condition. Condition here is where. So here you can see simple logic. This is my condition, guys. So this I am going to enable this. If you want to enable this logic, what you need to put? Take out this, and it's not a condition. It should be a where, guys. Take this, Control X. Always what you will do? Condition means and where. This is my condition. So here on which field you need to put in a condition, guys? BUKRS, perfect. BUKRS, where Bucharest is equal to aspect PFCG authorization. So here, what is the authorization object? It's in a demo, but our authorization object is not this one, guys. What is our authorization object? GF5 BUKRS. And what is the fields which we have used? The fields which we have used are one is BUKRS and another one is ACTVT, and which is equal to 03. How can I mention ACTVT and maybe 03? I'm going to give in a display authorization which is equal to the 03, and Bucharest the value which is equal to the I have already given the authorization there. Only H100 only we need to display it. Okay, we have provided the authorization over there, guys. Maybe save it and Control S and check it, contains no errors, and activate it Okay, now we don't execute this case. It's not possible to execute the roles. Okay, we execute this whenever you execute the basic CDS. So this CDS is used in the one of the access control CDS. It will check the authorization by using this authorization object, the company code and activity 03. So execute this CDS. Now you can open with data preview, and so it is displaying all. It should display only the H100, guys. So what is the problem? Okay, Bucharest, and go to the access control CDS where Bucharest and maybe which is equal to H100 and activate. Now apply this CDS and open with data preview, and it is displaying all. So HT normally it will work like this only, guys. Access control CDS, define role F1, and you see the authorization object mapped field 1 field 2, and authorization field 1 equal to value 1, field 2 equal to value 2. So this is what which I did. I don't know. Normally it should work, guys. I have assigned the role to SAP HANA, and the problem here is there is some problem. Multiple markers at this line. It's a BUKRS. Uh, okay, authorization object. We have given the value and ACTVT 03. We have given the authorization to the 03, guys. So what is the problem? Okay. CTVT. Control S. No. So activate. So there are some errors. Actually, I should not give this SCTVT, which is equal to 03, and do the syntax check. No errors, and activate. This is activated, and do the data preview. Open with the data preview. Actually, it should display only the H100 data, guys, not other data. Okay, so H100 data which should display. So once I will come back. Okay, user ST HANA 14. So current today's date. Save. Sometimes we need to come back, guys. Sometimes it will not accept. So maybe again execute. Open with data preview. No, it's not working. And maybe we'll go to the last batch CDS. So what is the batch here? I put CDS. Huh? Sixth, the last one. You see ABAP on HANA here. Hmm? Hmm. Somewhere I have in a PPT. Hmm. We use the same where uh, where Bucharest aspect this customer land one activity equal to 0. Same code which I have written, guys. See here it is in a Bucharest and uh, uh, exactly, maybe that is the problem. Exactly, check is required which we need to put here. We need to put the Bucharest. This is my authorization object, this is my field, and this is my activity equal to 03. The problem may be exactly. So maybe we'll go to here. So first we'll check the authorization things. Where is that? DCL. Close all sessions. Confusing. Okay, go to the Project Explorer and go to the BCDS. So here I put not allowed. Maybe that's the problem. Yes. Control spec, which is an check. We have to allow the authorizations. right? So Control S and activate. So this is successful. Maybe we'll go to the next series, which is an access control series. And access control series, double click on this. So Bucharest, this ZFI Bucharest activity equal to 03. So maybe we'll check now, and F8 and F8. Yes, guys. So I put not allowed authorization. That's why it's not coming, guys. Okay. So this is the authorization. Only the H100. So whatever the company code data which we have given, this user can see only the company code data which is equal to H100, guys. That's an access control series. Okay. Maybe. Uh, so what the lesson is here, we need to uh, new slide insert. Okay, this is the code. Maybe notice we must check authorization annotation for authorization check. Okay, always you must enable an authorization check in the serious level. And if you see the serious and also syntax for the access control is, this is the syntax, not this one. Yeah, this is the syntax. This is important, yes. Control C. And can we copy and paste from remote desktop to here? I don't think, yeah, it is copying, guys. So this is the syntax for the authorization access control, DCL, DCL, CDS access control. Okay, so here we need to put on watch CDS, you need to put an authorization. And whenever the CDS is executed, automatically the corresponding access control will be executed. And we need to provide authorization object on which field you are providing in a check. What is the authorization field and activity equal to 03. So then only it will display that authorization, whatever we provided in the authorization object level. Let's take an example of, I am going to add one more authorization, guys. Maybe I go to here, go to SAP. Hmm. Okay, where we can provide the values. In role level, we can provide the values, right? I go to the role, PFCZ, okay, change and authorizations, change, okay. And maybe we assign one more role, one more value. Okay, the next value is, what is the value which we have? RB05. Okay, save and generate. Come back, come back, come back. Now I go to the Eclipse. Okay, go to the Eclipse. CDS BSID. Maybe close this. Close this. So again, execute this F8 and you see RB05 as well as H100, guys. Okay, this is a serious access control, guys. So for this, actually, if you want to implement this, you need to have a server, guys. Without server, it's not possible. So CDS access control will be available, okay, after the NetViewer. The second point is access control will be available SAP ABAP NetViewer 7.50 and above. Okay, so 7.40 you cannot implement the SAP access control. It's not possible. So our server is SAP 7.40 in the SAP lab server. Do you anyone have the server which is having SAP 7.50? No. Okay. So for this, you must take an a access. Okay, that's an a CDS access control. We have seen most of the CDS, but only the we have seen this, right? So we have implemented ALV report, guys. So with our CDS, okay, only one statement which we have implemented. Maybe did you remember what exactly that? So in the last class, we have implemented some ALV report. Huh? Maybe here also we do that kind of reporting once. So SAP user, so not SAP, ST HANA 14. So who missed out the last class? That report we are going to show here. So SE38, okay, GCDS ALV underscore IDA. Okay, we have a concept called ALV. We have displayed ALV with the function models. We have displayed ALV with object oriented ABAP, and we can display the ALV with the IDA concept. Okay, demo for CDS ALV IDA. Okay, just I'm repeating that. Save and a local object and simple, guys. We use the class called, okay, start of selection. So what is the class we are going to use is CL underscore. Uh, I forgot. SALV underscore GUI underscore table underscore IDA. And this is a factory method, static method which we have. So do the control space and create a for CDS view. This is the one, and control space enter. And here you need to inject the CDS name. What is the CDS name just which we have created? GCDS underscore BSID. That's it. Okay. You should be in the capped letters, and that's it. And do you need any object? So maybe there are some um, uh, these things. Maybe this should be instantiated. Perfect. And maybe what you need to do is, if you want to get an instantiated object, we use inline declarations data go underscore SALV. So this is what which we are going to do it, guys. So all the new code this is. And also, guys, whenever you catch the exceptions, what you need to do? You need to do a try, and in the final you put an end try. So that's it. One statement. This total is one statement only, I can say. Okay, now I have an go underscore ALV, and it's an object. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Control space SALV. Since it is an object means instantiation. Whenever it is an instantiated things, we use the hyphen and greater than. Do the control space. You will get all the methods which are there in the here. And maybe I have one more thing called full screen. Okay, this will display ALV report in a full screen. And do the control space enter, which is a method actually enter. So I get this. Maybe I don't. I will ignore this. Ignore these exceptions. And in this, I have one more method. Display. Display. That's it, guys. Save. Enter. Yeah. Again, control space. Enter. So do the syntax check. Okay. An exception was already caught in the same try. Maybe the same name. Okay. Duplicate, guys. So it's also duplicate, which is also in a duplicate, which is also in a duplicate. Okay, do the syntax check and activate. Okay, guys. But whenever you go to the companies, if you see this code, you may, if you don't try this, maybe you will be feared, right, by seeing this. But nothing, guys. So you know the object orientation, what exactly it is. You know the CDS. Okay, just execute, and you see the report. See, guys, the ALV report, beautiful report, which is generated with the two statements only. Okay, no field catalog, nothing. And the code which is pushed down to the database layer, the database select statement. Suppose if I have 10 tables also, I created a CDS for 10 tables. I use the CDS, that CDS I can display the data in the output case. And one more thing, maybe most of the people will think CDS we can use only in the reports. So it's not like that case. I can call this CDS in the class also. Let's take, I'm going to create one class GCL underscore get underscore open underscore items. This is my class, and create the class get open items and create the class and save it, and local object, and maybe my method is okay get open underscore items. Okay, what is my output? I should be having any parameters for always in a method. Maybe my method is in a static method. Maybe I can say it's not a public. I can put in a static, and also which is in a public method. This is in a public method, and I put in a parameters, and my exporting parameter is okay. My exporting parameter bsid and a type, which is an a exporting means I need a result from this, and also type of, what is the type of this? Maybe I can put this type case. But if it is this, the problem is okay, it should be in a table. I need to have in a table type. But if you assign this, you will not get in a table type. So you need to assign a table. Maybe guys, CDS, how many ways we can see? G, TT, BSID, and create. What happened? Already exists. Okay, and one and create, and which is in a table type which I am creating. Guys, I can assign the CDS over here as in a line type also. What is the CDS? Uh, GCDS underscore BSID. Okay, it's in a table type for CDS. See how many places we are using the CDS. It will accept or not, we'll see. And do the syntax check. Yeah. Okay, it's not active. The row type is not active or does not exist. Which is an active, maybe we should not take the CDS in the reference of here. Maybe I have an equivalent. One more thing is SQL underscore BSID. Yes. See guys, we can take the SQL view over here, but CDS it is not accepting in the reference. It is not accepting for the table types, guys. Maybe I can take that, and I will take this, and I go to the program. I can assign this associated table as a table type and save, and go to the method, and inside the method, so write the code now. So what you will do, select star from GCDS underscore BSID and into table. And what is the table which we have taken? So the table is EX underscore BSID. That's it. See, I have used my CDS in the class as well. So come back and activate your edit. So if the new OpenSQL syntax, it must be used to this include using at the rate to escape the host variables. So new syntax, always you need to use at the rate symbol. Okay, and not compatible. Why? EX underscore BSID, which is in a type of this. Huh? Why it's not compatible here? CDS I did here. It's in a table. This is the table, and go to SQL SQL. See Bucharest KUNNR. This is in a DDL SQL view name, and DDL source is GCDS BSID. Into table. Okay, we'll do one thing. At the rate data, and which is in a LT underscore BSID. I am using inline declarations. Maybe do the syntax check. Yes, and move corresponding. What is the statement of corresponding new, guys? Huh? EX underscore BSID, which is equal to corresponding and ash and LT underscore BSID. This is the statement which we will use. Maybe ABAP is an space sensitive. We must use the space. Do the syntax check. See, no syntax errors found, guys. So this is the way also we can use. Corresponding is in a new syntax. So instead of move corresponding, we can use this is my target, and maybe some matchings, some fields are not matching properly. That's why I did a move corresponding statement and execute and activate and activate. So maybe it's not activated totally, and activate in the class level, and you activate this. Now execute static method public, and you can execute this and get open items and see the entries are H100 RB0. See guys, when you execute from the ABAP also, it is executing the authorizations. Did you observe? So whenever this CDS is executed, automatically the access control CDS will be executed. The authorizations will be performed, guys. So CDS, wherever you want, you can consume it, guys. From ABAP programs, you can consume the CDS, and the respective access control will be executed, guys. Next, what we can do with the CDS? So next we can do with the CDS is we can implement the OData services automatically, guys. Okay. So what exactly the OData and how you can do the OData services? So maybe I will come out of the remote desktop. I don't require remote desktop now, and now I go to the CDS. We have seen the 360 degrees of the CDS, right? So CDS, we can write the CDS with ALV reports, or else we can call from any ABAP programs. We can do the analytical application BW. I am not sure. I'm not good at BW. I don't want to explain this, but you can consume the CDS from the BW BEX reports, and you can implement the CDS for the OData services, guys. But what exactly the OData that we are going to introduce in today's class is. So who are all not aware of the OData? Can you raise the hands? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Sampath also. Okay. Yes. So we are going to first we'll learn the OData, then I will come back to the CDS. Okay. So then we are going to implement the CDS with OData services. Then only you will come to know the CDS BD. Actually, I can take you to the AMDP and SQL script, but it's little more heavy dose. Okay. If I give more heavy dose, you will not understand. Let's go to the easy concept again, OData. I will come back to the CDS with OData, then we'll go to the Fury applications and all. This concept I will explain in the little late. Okay, so pure database we need to work on it, guys. So database level we need to work on it. So that's why I kept little hold. I hold these two concepts. Then we'll go with the OData services, and this is also one of the hot topic in the industry. Okay, every interview they are going to ask the questions in the OData. Like CDS, the OData also very important, guys. So now we introduce the OData and what exactly the OData and all. Okay, OData. Okay, will interesting concept. This is also one of the and so we'll take 10 minutes break. We'll continue on the OData services.
This conference will now be recorded.
So, hi, hello all. Welcome to the next session on OData services. So what exactly the OData we are going to see in the today's class. So OData is it's an open data protocols. So we have different kind of protocols, guys, in the industry. Okay, so what do you know what exactly the protocols which we have? Can you list out some of the protocols? Huh? What is the protocols we have? Huh? Yeah, one is the HTTP protocol. We have HTTP, and we have SMTP, and we have uh, FTP. Yeah, perfect. File transfer protocol. So these are different kind of protocols which we regularly use it, guys. Okay. So HTTP protocol. Do you know what is the HTTP? Yeah, hypertext transfer. Uh, Hypertext transfer protocol. Okay, then Huh? Exactly. For the mail transfers, simple mail transfer protocol, and it's in a file transfer protocols. We have a different protocols which we have in the software industry, guys. So here, OData also is in a one of the protocol. It's an open data protocol, guys, and it is the framework mm, which builds based on a RESTful programming model. We have the OData builds based on the RESTful programming model, guys. So what exactly the RESTful programming model and all we see, and and normally it uses the HTTP protocol only and performs crude operations, or crude methods. So by seeing crude, what exactly the crude, guys? Wait, I am not asking you. Okay. So which builds? You are already listened 3 times. Okay, I am not asking the question. Okay, what exactly the crude? CRUD. What exactly the fresh batch? Okay, what exactly the crude? By seeing the terms, what exactly the crude? Okay, let's go to the database. Okay, what kind of operations you can do on the database? Uh, we can insert the data, which is nothing in a create. We can select the data DQL, which is in a read, and we can update the data and we can delete the data, guys. Exactly same things which we are also we can perform in the OData services. Okay, see, which is nothing but it's a create, which is nothing but an insert operations in the database. And we have a read, and what is the read? Select, right? We can select the data from database, which is a read. Okay, read, and which is a select, and we have a u, and which is a update, and we can do the modify operations. We can do update, and as well as we can do modify, and the d, which is a delete, and here we can say and delete the things case. So database, just compare with the database. We can insert the record, which is a create method. We can select the data from database, which is a read operation, and we can update and modify the data in the database. That is an update, and which is a delete. We can delete the data from database. The method here we are using is in a delete case. So the OData uses an HTTP protocol and performs the CRUD operations or CRUD methods. So here you can see there are different kind of CRUD operations. So what exactly the RESTful programming model, and who implemented this programming model? Okay, so the RESTful programming model is implemented by the Oasis company. RESTful programming model implemented by Oasis, and later it is merged with Microsoft. Now this programming model is implemented by Oasis. Now it is with the Microsoft. It is merged with the Microsoft. It's a Microsoft product, guys. Even the OData also is a Microsoft product. So they built an open protocol, an open programming model, and that programming model will be consumed by different technologies, guys. So this programming model, so even SAP also, uh, what you can say, adopted OData framework and built SAP Gateway Foundation. SAP adopted this functionality, and and adopted this OData framework and built an SAP Gateway Foundation, a separate server which they built. Even in Java also they use the same technology. Java adopted OData framework and they built and I think Wolingo framework in Java, and also they have Word Data and 4J. These are the two frameworks they have used in the Java also, guys. If they want to use an AO data framework, so it's like this. Every technology, if you go to anything, even Oracle also adapted this. Oracle also adapted this technology, and Dell, Boomi, they also adapted this technology. ESI, they also adapted this technology. Every technology adapted the OData framework. Here we also, SAP also, we adapted the OData framework, and we are going to connect to the different systems, and also we used to integrate with the UI systems case. What exactly the framework and what is the architecture of OData we'll see now. So normally how the architecture of OData, and before going to the architecture, we have a RESTful programming model. What exactly it is? What is REST and RESTful? What is a represent representational state transfer. So RESTful means it's a representational state transfer, guys. What exactly the representational state transfer? What is state of the object? Okay, here we talk about the state of the objects, guys. So little object orientation we talk now. Maybe I have an ABAP system. I have an UI system. This is my UI system. UI means all internet applications, right? Web applications we can design in the UI. So maybe I can say it's an internet HTTP system. Okay, that's my UI. So guys, browser supports inbuilt. Which technologies browser will support, guys? Do you anyone know browser supports some technologies? Can anybody tell what are the browser technologies? Huh? Yeah, what is the HTML? Okay, perfect. Okay, what is that? Hypertext markup language. It's not a programming language, it's a markup language. And cascading style sheets and JavaScript, guys. So this is then a browser client-based programming language. Okay, there are two things: server level programming language. ABAP is a server level programming language, but JavaScript is a client browser programming language, guys. So it's a lightweight programming language, and also maybe we have a Java, and we have a Python. Okay, these are all the languages maybe we can use to build the browser web applications, right? So normally in the web applications, they use JavaScript objects. Even Python also inbuilt, it uses the JavaScript, guys. JavaScript objects, and maybe the data will be modeled in a JSON model, JSON or XML models. They use, there are two things. One is the JSON format of the data. Another one is the XML format of the data. Just now we have seen the XML, right? So they use these XML models or JSON models. They are going to put the data on top of your browser, guys. But in ABAP, so what is the, where you will store the data in ABAP normally, which is an internal table, exactly, right? But if you want to transfer the data from ABAP internal table to the Java JSON model, and suppose if I want to send the JSON model to the ABAP, it's very challenging, guys. So to synchronize these two data, so what SAP, what OData framework does is, so here you can see one way, and I can put another way. Okay, so if you want to transfer the data from one system to another system, we use some data models. Those data models, I can say it's in the two things. One is the JSON, and JSON stands for Java JavaScript object notation. JavaScript object notation. That's an JSON model. And another one is the XML. The another one is the XML, which is an extended uh, markup language. Guys. But if any software comes, the new software comes, there are some standards, guys, quality standards, which they have to maintain. Then only those software languages will be certified. So any new language comes, that should be supported by the JSON and XML formats. Why? Because if you are building some software means, so that software should be easily adaptable, easily integratable with the other technologies. Then only the customer will buy it. So if you have any ABAP means, so I can do the XML data, I can do the JSON data by using ABAP. And JavaScript, they can do the JSON format, they can do the XMLs. Any programming language, Java also, they can easily understand the JSON and XML formats. Okay, so this is the two quality standards any technology has to meet, guys. Suppose let's take and I have an ITAB, internal table data. Suppose if I want to send the internal table data to the JavaScript, it doesn't understand the JavaScript. So we need to convert our internal table data. So the conversion, we call it a name. We need to parse the data into the XML. So this technique we call it a parsing. So we will parse the data. So we parse means the parsing. Parsing means convert ITAB to JSON or XML. So this technique we call it a parsing technique. And the another one is we call it's a rendering. So we render the data. Rendering the XML or JSON into ITAB. This we call it's a rendering technique, guys. So how we will transfer this by using objects. This transfer we call it's an object transfer, guys. So here we call it's an one object. Here we call it's an one object. We are going to transfer the objects, the create transfer data, select read transfer data, like that. We use some different method, crude methods. We transfer the data from one system to the another system, guys. This is a RESTful representational state transfer by using the objects in ABAP objects, or it's in a JavaScript objects, guys. It's an object notation. So we send the data by using the objects. That's in a representational state transfer. And so this technique we adapted into the SAP technology, and SAP built an SAP gateway foundation, guys. So maybe I go to the architecture of how the OData can be implemented and how you can deploy the OData into your SAP. So your architecture is matters everywhere. So here you can see the architecture is, I have a presentation layer, I have an application layer, and we have a database layer. And why the OData comes into picture is there are a lot of innovations. Okay, so here I can say innovation is HANA, right? And here the innovation is we have different web technology. Web technology nowadays, guys, we will go to the stores and buying the things. I would like to access my SAP business application from the browser. Okay, if you want to do this, normally we have technologies WebDyn Pro and BSP and all, but now it's WebDyn Pro is having little demand, but in S4HANA, the every application, the VA01, there is an UI application. VA02, there is an UI application. XD01, there is an UI application. Everything SAP has given a UI applications. So here the UI comes into the picture. So every things we are going to consume all the web SAP applications by using SAP UI5 and Fiori. Okay, but this technology builds up based on the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But here we have an ABAP, we have an internal table. Suppose if you want to connect those two systems, okay, here the architecture comes like this, and here I need to connect to the ABAP layer, and maybe the other process. Still we have the GUI works as is. In the parallelly we have a UI applications case. So don't think that there is no GUI applications. GUI applications still available, but we will use internally for the, let's take a ABAP program. If you want to write, you cannot write the ABAP program in the browser. We write the ABAP program in the SE38. So still we have in a GUI things, and additionally we have in a UI applications for the business applications. But now I need to transfer the data from SAP to the Fiori or UFI, from UI to the ABAP. How you can transfer the data? So for this, SAP has made a one more component on top of your application server. So it's an SAP Gateway Foundation. So which is implemented based on the OData framework. So a component has been installed on top of your application layer, and we can integrate with the UI applications to the SAP applications by using SAP Gateway Foundation, guys. So this scenario, maybe let's take an example of same thing. I will show in the system, guys. So this is my SAP Gateway Foundation. I will go to the system and go to the system. Everything matters. Architecture, everything comes in the system only, guys. Status, and here you can see product details, application layer, product details. See, guys, here there is a component GWFND. If you see SAP underscore GWFND, that means the OData SAP gateway. GW means it's a gateway foundation, FND foundation. Gateway foundation is installed on your SAP server, guys. So if you see any component SAP underscore GWFND, which is there in your product component version, that means your gateway foundation is installed on top of your ABAP application layer. See, this is my application layer. There is an SAP gateway foundation which is installed on top of my applications, guys. So if you see any component SAP underscore GWFND on SAP NetWeaver ABAP version, so SAP gateway installed on top of application layer. Actually, this scenario we call it an embedded deployment. Embedded deployment, guys. Embedded scenario or embedded deployment, both you can call it. Okay, this is an architectural term. So it's an embedded deployment or it's an embedded scenario, guys. And some people will use, so the other things, this SAP gateway is separately installed on a separate server. Let's take an example of hmm. So here what will happen? This is a different server altogether. Okay, they have even their own database. This is one server, this is another server. Database layer. So here I have only my SAP application, but here the gateway foundation is not installed on your ABAP layer. So this is a different server altogether. Two servers here. Okay. Suppose this I call it's a gateway front end server. This we call it's a gateway back end server, guys. Okay. This scenario we call it's a if SA gateway installed different server altogether on different server altogether, we call it a central hub scenario. It's not embedded, you know, right? Embedding. So we call it in a central hub scenario. Central hub scenario. I think okay, girls you will use lot of times embed. Where you will use embed, guy? Huh? Madams? Huh? You don't use, huh? Can I tell example? Huh? What is embroidery work? Huh? What is embroidery work? So you buy some cloth, on top of you are going to, on the same cloth you are going to do some kind of additional work, which is embedded. So here also same thing, embroidery and embedded. So embedded means I have some application layer, on top of it I have embedded my the gateway server. That's we call it's embedded. But it's if it is in a separate altogether, it's we call it's in a central hub deployment or central hub scenario, guys. But how do you connect from one system to another system here? This is even these also SAP system, these also SAP system. What is the best way to connect the two SAP systems is, maybe, sorry guys, I don't ask this question now. So we are going to use normally RFC, we are going to use to connect between two different systems, guys, because I didn't cover the interfaces for you. So we use the RFC, we connect the central hub system, the gateway system to the SAP system. Okay, we do not have this scenario now. We do not have two servers. We have an embedded scenario in this. We are going to call this embedded scenario. Why? Because our server which is having an embedded. So now you can go to here and have lab server SAP GWFND. You can see the on top of ABAP NetWeaver layer. So this is we call it an embedded scenario. We are going to perform the embedded OData services in the SAP. So now, so what exactly the OData and what are the components and how you can build the OData services. So transaction code to build the OData services is okay, important transaction code. So most of the people now they are in the starting stage, guys. So most of the uh, industry, even the 10 years 8 years experience also, they don't know OData. First they will ask, first they will check what is the transaction code for OData. But after 2 years the dose will be increased. Now the present situation is what is the transaction code for OData. Okay, simple, SEGW. Okay, this is high dose for you. Even 8 9 years also they don't know the OData services. Okay, this is all little high dose, but you need to read this exactly. And what is the transaction code for OData? SEGW. And when you create the OData service, what are all the components you see in the OData services? Okay, what are the components of OData services? Okay, if you are not able to read this simple information, it will be waste, guys. Learning and putting this much time and all, it is a waste of your time and waste of my time to explain the new technology. Only five slides, that's it. 5 slides. And if you learn this, you can answer a lot of questions in the OData side, guys. And tomorrow we'll see the implementation of the OData by using SEGW and what are the components which we will see in the OData services. Whenever you create an OData services, what all the service comes and what all the classes comes. We use it uses total object orientation classes, okay, inheritance and methods, static and instance, and static attributes, instance attributes. That's it. We are going to use that much level of the object orientation, not complicated object orientation, guys. So tomorrow we start building, and before that I request all of you to do some settings in the your systems. Okay, so if you want to implement the OData services, the HTTP services should be activated, and please use this blog how to activate the HTTP services. Okay, this is a basis activity I did, basis kind of stuff. I will put that blog somewhere. HTTP services, not uh, okay, other bookmarks. Okay, go down. I'll give the blog. You read this blog and implement. uh, MDG training. No, yeah, somewhere I've I saved it. Okay, whenever you search for something, guys, always you have to look at the blogs. Okay, this is the way of first finding the things, guys. Okay, even the Google is also an art, guys. Okay, so you type something, you will get 10 links, but which link you need to find, that's a very, very important. Always you need to try to look at the blogs. Okay, blogs will provide lot of information. They will put from the scratch to end, step by step. They will give the screenshots and everything. Okay, don't look for some simple answers and all. Always I look for in a blog. See, most of the things will be in a blogs only. But I have in a blog as also activate data. Okay, some way. Okay, I can give activate HTTP services SAP. So if you activate this, no need to use the server. See, HTTP SMTP services. Okay, this is the blog, and maybe and go to the, see, the transaction is RZ10, guys. Go to the RZ10. So here you need to provide a, see, information, everything it is gives default. You need to put it here. Version you press F4. Okay, maybe I go and show once. Okay, RZ10. Okay, put in a default and press F4 always here and take the latest. I have 6th, but maybe you will be having 2 or 3, which is in a higher. Take that higher version. Okay, you need to select extended maintenance and change, and you will get this screen, and click on the create parameter. So here also you can see create the 4 parameters. See guys, this is the one parameter. You take the copy of this, Control C, and put this parameter and parameter value, and value, take this value, Control C and Control V, and what kind of protocol, it's an HTTP protocol, and what is the uh, port number is 800, guys. You put these details and copy this. Okay, don't click any create or anything, it doesn't work. Okay, you have to do any copy. Okay, I don't do it, my configuration will go, and this is the thing you need to do first. After you do this, I don't save, and my working is, after you do this, and you need to go to SMICM. This is also one more transaction, and in the SMICM, select one of the running server and go to services. Go to services and select this, and go to edit service and go to the change. Here you will see the default 0, guys. Instead of 0, you need to change that and put an 8,000 and okay, and okay, and act service. Go and activate your service. Select this and service and activate service. Then your web applications will work in your server, and also you need to maintain a host file in the uh, here Windows and systems, system 32 and drivers etc, and host file. You need to edit the host file, and here you need to maintain this your IP address and my ECC hanamasters.com, my ECC, guys. So this is the thing which you need to do it. Okay, the everything it is done here. So see here, and this block covers all the parameters, and put that parameter and paste the parameter, give the value, and you need to put port over here, save it and copy it, not save it. And now you can go. Okay, this is the HTTP services, and you go to the, no, don't do anything. One more thing also we need to do, guys. So one more transaction is S trust. Go to S trust, and here you need to, there is in a red color, you need to click on the red color, it will open a green color, and save it. Okay, maybe you come to me, I will explain what exactly that. If you get that error, you need to go to S trust also, that also you need to activate. So maybe take this block, activate HTTP, because OData is an HTTP protocol. You must activate the HTTP services, and also you need to do S trust also, and also SMICM. Okay, these are all the transactions which you need to, and RZ10. Okay, lot of things, guys. Okay, this kind of information no one will explain, guys. In the institutes, no one will explain this kind of things. Just they will tell, okay, You take HANA server, that's it for the OData services. Okay, you please activate this and try to use the OData services. That's it for the day. Tomorrow we'll see what exactly the OData services, and with this is also one of the important concept for the current industry case. So you can ask who are going for the interviews, they will tell you. So what the kind of importance we have for the OData services. Okay, that's it for the day. Thank you all. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.